Welcome to the Wellness Real Estate Podcast. This week, I have Brad Weber here from Local Umbrella Media, and he's my publisher. I wanted to bring him on the show because so many agents are wasting their marketing dollars on postcards, and really is a much better way to market yourself that isn't just self-promotion that takes months and months to bring your return, but instead positions you as a community connector who cares, gives you instant credibility, authority, and enables you to partner with local businesses in your area. So if you are an agent who is looking for new ways to market yourself that elevates your brand and actually makes you more memorable without having to spend much more than a postcard, stay tuned because you won't want to miss this. It's a good one. Welcome to the Wellness Real Estate Podcast, where you'll discover a groundbreaking strategy that is transforming real estate marketing. In every episode, we focus on topics that will help you have more authentic engagements and meaningful conversations about your business. As the wellness real estate impact grows, with projections reaching $850 billion by 2027, don't miss this opportunity to revolutionize your approach, generate more leads, and increase sales, becoming the community connector you're meant to be. I'm Sheila Alston, and I'm your host. I'm also the founder of Healthy Home Media, where I help agents all over the country leverage this new trend in the industry to spark new conversations that get people to listen to you and notice your brand. So if you're tired of spinning your wheels without the consistent leads to show for it, then stay tuned. This podcast is your guide to standing out in a rapidly evolving market, guaranteed to change the way you think about real estate marketing. Okay, I'm so excited because we've got Brad Weber here today. Thank you, Brad, for being here.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so Brad is my publisher. He's with Local Umbrella Media, and we talk about this a lot, you and I, but I just wanted to bring you on the show today because I just think so many agents are sending postcards that are not giving them a return on their investment. We want to stop them from wasting their marketing dollars on postcards. And so that's why you're here. Let's talk about that.
Well, we do postcards also, so I don't know if it's wasting, but you can just make more things more effective because direct mail, one reason a lot of agents don't do it anymore, a lot of other businesses don't do it, is because it can be very expensive. I mean, postcards can cost 50 cents to $2 a piece, depending on what you send. And you always have to put the customer in mind. When people go to their mailbox, they call it the mailbox moment. When people go to their mailbox and they bring in whatever they have in the mail, they usually go to the recycle bin or the trash can first and throw away the crap and keep the rest. So postcards, if they're not interested in what you want that particular day when they get your postcard, you're going to go right in the trash. And even the great thing about that is, even with all those scars, they still do work. I mean, it still is an impression. They see your face, or they remember your name or whatever your brand is, and but they don't see it after that mailbox moment. So if you can send them something they want, or that's more outstanding, or something that they think, geez, I shouldn't throw this away right away. I should at least take a look through it, or maybe put it on my counter and read it again later when I have more time. It's just a whole nother level of effectiveness. And if it doesn't cost a lot more, it's I drink my own Kool-Aid, but I mean, to me, it's pretty clear that you want to send them something for the same price that they're going to keep versus something they're going to throw away.
Well, right. I mean, literally a 6x9 postcard, there isn't that much real estate for you to have a good message. So I just feel like, of course, if people don't know there's a better alternative, then they're going to do that. Maybe they'll send something that's, just sold postcard or something. But I just feel like you are getting a lot of junk mail, and a lot of it's small, stuff that you just kind of look at as you're throwing it away. And so maybe over time you might say, okay, this agent has been sending something to me for 18 months. But if you're an agent who doesn't want to wait 12, 18 months to get a return, and you want to have something work more effectively sooner, but not, what do you suggest is how can you send something better for the same amount of money?
Well, the simple suggestion is send them something they want versus something that you want them to have. And I call it there you are marketing versus here I am marketing. And most postcards, and to make a dramatic point, the political season's a perfect example. I mean, when the elections come, you go to your mailbox and there might be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 postcards in one day. And they're always, some are saying something bad about the other person. Some are saying something good about the candidate. And when I look
Mm-hmm.
at them and I'm in the business, it's like, I don't know if this is for or against this guy. And there's so many, I just throw them all in the trash and everybody's
Right.
spending that money. So, and real estate's kind of the same way. You're not the only one maybe sending postcards either. So,
Mm-hmm.
they're sending postcards and they're sending postcards and the dentist's sending a postcard. And pretty soon it's like, you get lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you send them something I want, it's just more impactful and it lasts longer. And sending them something they want can be a bunch of different things, because we say the riches are niches. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the best niches is what agents are already used to, is farming a community, making themselves the neighborhood expert, but also with a more robust direct mail piece like a newspaper or a magazine, you can write articles, you can support local organizations and businesses and things like that. So instead of just saying, "Hi, I'm Sheila, I'm a great agent," everyone else says that. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, you think you're great, but send them that and more, and also talk about, I'm a member of the community. I support the kids in school, or I support a nonprofit, or there's a new business down the street. Something's a little more not only catchy and lasts longer, but something that has a little more feeling about, you're not just an agent trying to sell yourself. You're someone that's really good, but also a member of the community and gives back. And you want them to fall in love with you versus just you knocking on their door every day trying to date them.
Yeah, I feel like it's instead of, like you said, just saying how great I am, self-promotion and, chasing leads all the time. Are you looking to buy or sell? It's like, let's embrace our community and uplift our community and showcase our community members and local businesses in something. And then, oh, by the way, I'm your community connector. And it just is kind of it feels better to be that person than to be someone who's chasing, leads anyways. I don't think anybody wants to be doing that. That's why they don't want to call themselves a salesperson anyways, right?
Yeah,
So how do you
because
do?
let's face it, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that I'm just yeah, there's lots of people, self-promoting all the time. And so who do you believe? Everybody's going to say that they're great, right? So
Right.
how does this work exactly with the magazine or a newspaper?
Well, like everything, it depends. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on the size of the neighborhood, the type of community, the budget, because
Mm-hmm.
we do different products and there is different price points. But in general, we put together a community oriented publication or a niche publication like wellness, like is in your
Mm-hmm.
field. Uh, but let's just talk about communities for now. So if you live in
Mm-hmm.
a neighborhood, let's say it's Rolling Hills neighborhood, people in Rolling Hills love their neighborhood. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
live there. That's why the homes are expensive. And we basically only go to places where people are proud of where they live and love where
Mm-hmm.
they live because it works better. So first of all is the title. You judge a book by its cover. And a lot of people buy a lot of books because of the title and the subject and never get around to reading the book, but still they'll buy it. So if you put Rolling Hills Neighbors or Rolling Hills Living or something like that on the title, uh, that's that's the most important point. The second
Mm-hmm.
point is put something on the cover, not only about you, the agent, but about the community. It might be like I said, a new restaurant. It might be an event upcoming. It might be somebody in the community that just did something cool. Anything about that neighborhood that makes them say, "Yeah, this is about me. This isn't about you." That's going to make them get more interested in reading it. And also, once they do read it, and kind of thank you in some way, shape, or form for sending it to them
Mm-hmm.
because it's good information
Well,
that they
and
want to get.
not every publisher does what you do. I just have to say that because so many, how do you make something completely, local and still make money on your product when you're trying to print
Yeah.
loads, right? So most publishing or print places are going to be printing the same thing for everybody. They're not going to have this local badging kind of option. So I love that you do that and you've introduced that to my wellness magazine.
Mhm.
So I love that we can send this wellness super niche magazine to people who are actually, interested in being healthy and they can learn about how to create a healthy home and we can put some local content in it too so that it feels um, ultra hyper local and ultra niche, which is amazing. And then how do you send something like that for the cost of a postcard? Because people are going to say, sure, I'd pick that any day, but it's going to cost more to print that than a 6x9. piece of
Well, there's a
paper.
formula. And it's not that easy to explain, but the first thing is we do a lot of it. And this is my 40th year doing this. So we kind of figured out what works and what doesn't, and what's cost effective and what isn't. And we are part owners in a printing company. So we have, we have that part of what we do. And like I said, we do postcards too. They're just, I don't like to sell them. I sell what I think works long term better. And my history's told me that these work long term better, and not that many other people do it. So what we do is, number one, it's the printing process that makes it expensive, because to do a lot of them, we run them at the same time, so the price comes down. And then we add enough relevant content inside. Again, it doesn't have to be all about rolling hills, because there might not be that much going on in rolling hills, but other publications out there, and there are others, might, a great example is there's another company that does kind of basic, you put your name on a publication, they send it all over the country, the same thing. And you talk to people here in San Diego or in Florida, and there's an article about how to make a snowball. It's like, why are they sending me this? So it's all about relevance. You don't want readers saying, why did they send me this? Or why is this in this publication? It doesn't have to be all about rolling hills. It just has to be relevant. So in the wellness industry, it has to be a wellness article. You don't want to have all you can eat restaurants maybe, or something. It's a wellness. It's not really healthy. Why would you talk about that?
Right.
So I don't know if I can simplify it much more, but you just want the realtor to say, oh, this makes sense, or not say, why did they send me that? That's not about me.
Well, so when we
It's a
work with
pretty,
agents and we have them sponsor some of our publications, what I love about working with you is that you have our Farm for Free program. Can you explain just a little bit of that for maybe some interested agents who are wanting to farm, but they just feel like, well, I can't afford that right now?
right. Well, when you do a postcard, again, it's all about you. So no one else is going to help you pay for it, right? Because why would they? So when you do a publication, you can support, and lots of agents, especially the agents that have been around for a while and have generated a track record, they have people that they refer business to. It could be certainly a mortgage person, or a lender, but it could be a plumber, electrician, and pest control. There's so many different categories. So when you're doing a publication, you allow those folks to also reach consumers. A lot of those people want to reach the same consumers you want to reach. And those are, people that own homes, people that we're highly skewed towards females, because females spend most of the money. And that's not me saying this. There's lots of studies. So, if you're a pest controller, or you're an electrician, or you build kitchens or remodel kitchens, you want to reach those same people. So you're allowing, as an agent, you're allowing those folks that already have a relationship with you. And not only do you have the connection, but you're allowing them to reach the same people you are. And the same good parts of it are the same for them as it's the same for you. They could send a postcard and it could get thrown away, or they could be a part of your publication, which people keep, and it's going to be a lot less for them than a postcard. But our Farm for Free program is basically, we contact those people and invite them to be a part of your publication. And part of the cost of the advertising goes towards your bottom line. And if you get enough of them, you can literally send something out for free. And we do have agents, a couple that actually send for free, and some other ones that are very, very close, less than they've been spending for a postcard, and they have a beautiful publication to send. And again, back to, does it work better? Does it, when they go to they all tell me either they got business out of it, or if they go to the grocery store, everyone knows them. Hi, Sheila, I know you. Oh,
I
you
know.
sent me that publication. You
Yeah,
don't
I've
get that
seen
with
you
a
on the
postcard.
cover. I've seen you on the cover of a magazine, or on the, read about your story in the newspaper. And then they're also learning
Yeah,
about local businesses that maybe they don't know about, which I think is fabulous. So then
exactly.
it feels like it's more
And the
of a
local businesses
collaboration.
that you feature also give you that kind of feedback too. Thank you so much. Or if we charge them, it's a good deal. But it's just so much more, so many more options to only make it more effective, to make it more cost effective.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's collaborative, right? Instead of everybody doing their own individual thing. I mean, that's kind of why I started the magazine in the beginning anyways, is I had this podcast where I was interviewing all these amazing healthy home professionals that are all individually trying to educate the world and trying to make the world a healthier place through your home environment. And I was like, wow, if I had a publication that just, everybody got to tell their story and have an article, then the readers could learn all these different ways. And an agent who is wanting to also educate and be the community connector could then, kind of highlight these people. I just feel like it's a win-win for everybody when you do it that way instead of just self-promoting. So,
It is. And
yeah.
the information's out there, and some of the information you share online is great information, but getting it read online is a lot harder than getting it read in print.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's so many other people. Every agent is taught, and I'm all for it to have a post, do Facebook posts and do social media posts
Mm-hmm.
and email marketing and all this stuff. And it's all good content, but how much of that stuff can you consume?
Mm-hmm.
And because it's less expensive, you get a lot of it. And
Mm-hmm.
I get 5 agents telling me, 10 ways to make my kitchen look better when I sell a house. It's like, okay, I've read that before, but if you get it in a magazine,
Mm-hmm.
you're the only one talking to them. You have a one-on-one relationship. And again, it's not just me saying this. There's lots of studies out there that say, when you read something in print, it's not only does it get consumed more, but it's also more memorable. They remember you for doing that because you don't click on that next tab and you forgot about it.
Right. Well, and there's some more legitimacy, I feel like, with print because people know that it costs something. It's not just free. So there's a little bit
Yeah.
of trust in knowing that, wow, someone's invested some money into sending me this something and I'm tangibly, looking at it. So print is not dead. I mean, a lot of people might say that,
Not even
but
close. No, print is dead in news. Print is dead in news.
yeah.
Whatever happened in the war with what's going on now or the
Hmm.
politics, you've heard about it already. You get
Hmm.
emails, you go online. It's very easy to get news, but
Hmm.
stories about local, a new business down the street or a kid, having a lemonade stand to raise money for his friend that has a disease or something. Those are the types of things you aren't going to get online right away. And you
Hmm.
might miss them online if you get them, but if you get it in the local publication about your neighborhood kid, that's memorable. And the person that sent it to you becomes memorable also. And it does have a huge trust factor because I like to say the metaphor of a party. Social media, it's kind of cheap or almost free to get in. So that's a
Hmm.
party where you open the gates and all these people rush in. Are you really going to find the person that you want to find there? A
Hmm.
print is a high ticket price.
Hmm.
I want to go to this game, and the people there, who are these people? How did they get into this concert or this party or whatnot? So they have a little more respect.
Hmm. For sure. I mean, and I do think that there's many different touches when you're trying to kind of, make a sale, right? Nobody's going to make a sale the first time they connect with you. And it's all about relationships. And in real estate, everybody knows it's all about relationships. But how many times do you talk with someone and then they're going to go back and kind of research you if they're thinking to hire you? So they're probably going to go to your social media and they're just going to look at your feed and see what is it about you? How can I learn about you? Then they'll probably go to your website
Mhm.
to kind of learn more information about you. And so if your website is just, find a home and it's basic, doesn't tell anything about you, you've kind of missed the boat there. And if your social media doesn't ever have your face, you've missed the boat there. But if that's all you have, then you're kind of, like you said, a lot like everybody else, because that's what everybody else is doing. So imagine if then they
Yeah,
go to their mailbox and then they also see a print magazine that has your face there and they can learn more about you and what's important to you and the community. And then they get a knock on their door or they see you at a community event and you hand them the magazine or you talk about the
yeah,
magazine, then you're having more conversations and then you really are more top of mind. You're memorable. That's what I say on my site is be more than top of mind, be memorable. So how can you do that? And I
exactly.
think
Yeah.
putting, being on
And
the cover of a magazine or sponsoring one of our magazines is a great way to do that.
got it. And the referral part, everyone wants referrals, and in real
Mm-hmm.
estate, like lots of businesses, referrals are a big source of income, and you don't expect it. Someone calls you and say, "Hey, Sheila told you to call me," or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that in a postcard. I don't get a postcard and say, "Hey, Sheila, you should call Joe. He just sent me a postcard." But
Mm-hmm.
if you have a conversation at a party or we're having dinner or whatever and say, I
Mm-hmm.
got this magazine, there was a great article about the little kid in school raising money for the lemonade, and it's the magazine sent to me by Sheila Alston, this local real estate agent. And by the way, if you're maybe you should call it, just your name's going to come up a lot more, and it
Mm-hmm.
just opens those referral sources too, because again, you're a little more kind of like part of the family versus somebody knocking on the door that you don't know, that you're trying to shoo away, that's trying to get in your house. Metaphorically, these publications are a way you can get into people's living rooms,
Right. And they'll
versus
keep
the
and
trash can. And yeah,
exactly.
so your message, whether your message is about you or about anything else they care about or anything, you're in their home now. You're part of the family, and then it's also your job. And I also say you can't just do these publications. You can't just send them out and don't
Mm-hmm.
live it. I would do a garage sale or a you know sponsor the kids in school, or just be that person in the area to not
Mm-hmm.
only show your expertise but share how much you care about the community. Um, but this is a great tool to be
It's
a
a,
part of that whole
I
thing.
like
So
to say it's a
the
great
recipe,
tool to talk about your business, because really you're not going to win more business if you're not talking about your business with people.
right?
And I see so many agents in particular, they're joining every community, whatever, a networking group, and there's so many agents doing that. So they might say one time, oh, I'm a realtor, and then they don't talk about their business. They'll just post an open house or post about a listing or post that, and then they're just waiting for referrals. So you're putting your lead generation in the hands of other people, and then you're not talking about why you're different or how you do business differently. And so most people think that all agents are the same, right? So how are you going to do that? You need a tool that enables you to talk about your business. And with my magazines in particular, the agents that are part of my membership are trying to differentiate themselves a little bit by focusing on how they are passionate also about healthy living, and they want their clients to also have a healthy home, or along those lines. I have luxury agents too who don't necessarily want to rebrand themselves, but they just want to show their care. So they're leading with goodwill, and it feels good to lead with goodwill, right? I care about you. Read this awesome magazine that helps you create a healthy home. And then, you get to also say, I'm passionate about that, and this is how I do my business differently. I'm connecting with healthy home professionals. Most agents don't do that. People are like, wow, that's really cool. And then they want to
Yeah.
follow you or join your email list and get your digital magazine and get your print stuff. And then they're happy to be looking at it. Like you said, they keep it and show it to other people. And I don't
Yeah.
know what other tool works like that.
Not unless you're out doing all those things you talked about, and
Hmm.
meeting people in person, but you can only meet so many people in person, no matter
Hmm.
how hard you work and how. So this is just a way, like I said, metaphorically, to be a part of the family, to be in their living rooms without physically being there all the time. You can show
Hmm.
up with a new message every month, and yes, you always want to tell them what you're doing and why
Hmm.
you know what you're really about, and how you can help them if have a real estate need, whether it's a question answered or a ready to sell or buy or sell a home. But
Hmm.
um, that certainly has to be part of the message. You don't want them
Hmm.
to forget about you and just love the information. So,
Right.
and you can do more with a multi-page publication than you can with a postcard, telling them either new things or subtleties, or putting your photo in it 4 or 5 times versus just once, so they
Hmm.
remember, that's Sheila, that's Sheila.
Well, and the
So
other thing is, a lot of agents will get a great listing and they'll pay for an ad in a local, like Dream Homes or something like that. Can be thousands of dollars for one
yes,
publication, for one ad for your listing. And if you had your own publication and your own magazine you were sending monthly, you could easily just make one of those ad pages your listing, so they get a full spread and it
yeah.
doesn't cost you any extra money. So that's something to think about too.
And also, it's not just the people that see you. I mean, if you're going out to listing presentations and things like that, having your
Hmm.
own publication, we like to call it, don't buy ads in the media, own the media. And that
Hmm.
can be owning the media in your local market. But if you go to
Hmm.
listing presentation in that neighborhood and say, oh, by the way, we publish this magazine every month. It's like, you do,
Yeah.
who are you? You publish a mag. Well, we quasi publish. You don't want to lie and say you're
Well,
doing the whole
you
thing
partner with the
and matter. But
publisher, yeah, and
yeah,
you
but
sponsor a
they're going to
magazine.
assume you're just different and you stand above the rest. And then,
Hmm.
you're going to you never know what that person, if you go to a listing presentation, you should kind of know something about the people, right? And they
Hmm.
might be into wellness, or they might be
Hmm.
into kids, or they may be into this. And you can look at one of the articles you wrote or that was written in one of your previous publications and make sure you highlight that. So, by the way, we wrote an article about the Little League. Oh, my kid's in Little League. That is so cool. Now you
Right.
have a conversation, and conversations is where everything starts and where all leads are really generated and deals are done. You've got to give that person a reason to care about you and to listen to what your real story is about doing business together.
Great. Well, so I know we're in the San Diego area for those who are listening in California, but do you do publications around the country or just in San Diego area?
No, we do a lot of them in San Diego because I'm here and I can see people in person. But I've been in business 40 years, and we print in the Midwest, so we ship coast to coast, and most everything we do is through the mail system. So we can and content we can get. It's a little easier right here, but we can connect with schools and libraries and historical societies and things like that and generate some content in your local area. The more the realtor in your neighborhood helps, the better it gets. So we welcome, there's a new restaurant down the street, you should call them or something like that. But all that can be done, remotely. And in certain areas, we do have a local presence there also, so we can get some content locally.
Yeah.
So the short answer is we do it all over the country. Coast to coast.
Yes. So Brad and I are working on a publication. I have Wellness RE and Healthy Home and Wellness at Home, but Brad and I are also doing the Well Life, if you haven't heard of it already. So if you go to the welllifemag.com, you can learn more about how we're partnering with that. But if people want to just connect with you, Brad, and learn more about how they can get a community publication, how can they connect with you?
I'll give you my email address. It's Brad, BRAD, at Local Umbrella. That's LOCAL umbrella.com. Or they can call me. So this is my cell phone, 619-300-1732. You can call or text, and just let me know who you are and why you're calling so I can get back to you.
I love that. Most people just give their website, Brad, but yeah, it's awesome that,
that's why you need to tell me who you are and why you're calling, because otherwise you might not get the call back.
No, but
as
I
long as you
love
do
that. You're such a people person, and you want to actually just reach out and connect with Brad because he's so awesome, and he'll literally bend over backwards to try to help you with your business. So thank you for being on the show.
Well,
I appreciate you so much.
Well, I appreciate you too. And it is fun when you actually can solve a problem and you're confident in what you have, because I've done it a long time and I know it works, and it takes two sides. We have to work together, but it's a great program. It really is.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you again for being on the show. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Good to see you always.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something that will inspire you to think about your branding and how you can market yourself a little differently. If you enjoyed this episode, then you're going to love what I have for you, because you don't need to wait to go get extra certifications or grow or expand your network to get started attracting new leads right now. You can simply begin by talking about wellness real estate trends and what you've learned on this podcast with others. I mean, this is an interesting topic that no one has heard about, and I have all the tools that can make it even easier for you. Wellness Real Estate Magazine is a brand new wellness lifestyle magazine, and it's the only magazine that brings health and home together. We educate readers on industry trends and how you can create a healthier home environment. Written by industry experts around the country, and we have 3 covers to choose from: Wellness RE, Healthy Home, and Wellness at Home, so you can easily find one that aligns with your unique brand and messaging. These magazines are the perfect done-for-you tools that help you not only stay top of mind, but help you be memorable. They also educate and engage your audience, which positions you as an industry expert. So differentiate yourself and grow your brand the easy way. Learn more at healthyhomemedia.com.